Здравствуйте, and welcome back to our humble Soviet republic, nestled deep, seemingly, in the middle of nowhere. Off in the distance, Ashkakal is actually making some excellent progress, and if we take a look at our previous month's bottom line, you'll see an extra digit in the black. Yes, it's only by a marginal amount, but I will take every win I can get, folks, and I think this is absolutely worth celebrating. Also, Happy New Year, it's 1964, and there's still plenty more for us left to do all the way over here in Ashkakal. Folks, if you've enjoyed our rescue operation, if you're excited to see what lies ahead, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know by leaving those likes and comments down below. As always, the number of likes and comments is a quick read for me to understand exactly what people are enjoying on the channel, lets me know what I should do more or less of and how I should go about doing it. But apart from that as well, I do read all of the comments and I do take them to heart. So if you have any suggestions, questions, thoughts, opinions, warnings, let me know down below and they will get addressed in some way, shape, or form. To that end, I actually want to address a handful of comments right off the bat today as I take care of a task that some of you have pointed out to me for the last couple of episodes, but kept slipping my mind. I didn't realize that this was going to be a problem, but if we take a quick look at our lists here and scan the list of cities and areas, you'll see that across the entire map, some of these middle-of-nowhere towns have something of a population. And you'll recall that we're not actually taking care of anywhere apart from Ashkakal. So that means, for example, these 70 people over here at Keneve are sat here on the other side of the map without access to anything but, I guess, religion. So what we need to do is go around and disallow citizens from moving into any and all of these cities, in particular, I should say the ones that have housing capabilities. So, folks, this is a bit of a problem. It's not ideal, and it is absolutely, I think, affecting our statistics, because you'll see that Ashkakal only has 992 people, whereas our nation as a whole has over 1,000. That means all of these are being summed for this total. My assumption is that all of these people's moods and opinions then are also impacting our total. So the people who are, for example, unable to practice sports, yeah, maybe it's because they're in the middle of nowhere. Now, I'm not entirely sure, because if I recall correctly, the stats of the people that have moved out to places you're not managing don't actually get taken into account. But it's being counted for population, so I would assume it's going to be counted for everything else. Nonetheless, I'm not going to take any chances. Let's go ahead and make sure that people are not allowed to move into these areas that have housing. And as I'm doing this menial work, I want to address a couple of other comments that I saw over the last handful of episodes where some concerns were raised, some questions were raised, some of my decisions were questioned, let's say, for good reason. For example, many of you have been asking, well, hey, Party, why don't you use dollars? You've got so many US dollars. Why don't you use those to help facilitate your rebirth, your new era, as it were? You're absolutely right. I've got plenty of dollars, and I can do quite a bit with that, actually. I can buy a bunch of vehicles. I can invest in additional cisterns. I can very cheekily import, for example, let's say steel using dollars. Use it not just for construction, but also then export it to my, Soviet brethren, as it were, and convert it in a manner of speaking, into rubles. And then I can start using rubles again. I need people to move into Ashkakal. Whoops. But yeah, so yes, valid point. And yes, we can absolutely use dollars in a variety of ways. But as I was explaining some of those possible uses, you might have been able to tell a few reasons why I would rather not. One is because I think some of those solutions that open up to us feel a little too cheeky for me. And again, no judgment against anybody who thinks that's the right thing to do. Everyone likes to play their own ways, right? And it is a completely valid solution. I mean, you will take a loss. You import at a certain price point, you export at a lower price point, so there is a cost to it. It's not a one-to-one ratio, but in our current circumstances, that loss is insignificant, right? Because we desperately need whatever money we can get. So it feels a little cheeky, and I like the challenge of trying to recover using rubles alone. And apart from that, again, just from a roleplay perspective, I had a certain vision in my mind of a nation that wants to rely on its Soviet brothers and sisters before turning to the West. And with the West, I think we'd want to primarily export. We'd want to, fleece them, as it were, make money off of them, as opposed to rely on them. And that might change down the line. In fact, logically, maybe that should have changed already because of the situation we find ourselves in. However, perhaps I'm too stubborn, perhaps I'm too pig-headed, perhaps I'm just enjoying the challenge too much, and so I can't get myself to change. Either way, hopefully that explains why I am still avoiding the use of dollars. Now, if things become extremely desperate and we're just not making any progress, then yeah, I'll change my tune. At that point in time, I'll forfeit that obstinance, as it were, and it would feel, again, in character. It would feel as part of the roleplay, because we have to at one point accept that we cannot do this on our own or with the help of just our Soviet brothers and sisters, as it were, and we have to rely on the help of NATO, which is something I'd really rather avoid, as it were, again, purely from a roleplay perspective. Let me know your thoughts on that, but hopefully that clarifies why I'm not using dollars, while at the same time we have told people not to move into any of these areas. That's only one thing addressed. So there's another thing that has been brought up a couple of times that I thought I've addressed already before, but maybe I'm misremembering. But folks, the reason why I'm not using water trucks to move oil around is because you can't. Water trucks will not allow the movement of anything but water. So we can't just simply flip them to shipping oil back and forth and making us good money. Unfortunately, yes, they're sitting idle right now, but that's because they have to. Because we are, we don't need water, and we don't want them wasting fuel. But as some of you have pointed out, something I can do is tell these guys, if I can find them, to actually wait until they've loaded and unloaded. Rather, I never want them sitting at the customs house blocking the movement of other goods, so it would be at the water loading and unloading station where I can tell them to wait until unloaded. So view line details, wait until unloaded, and that then means they'll pick up all their water from Kurvarud, and if the water tank is full, they'll just stay put here and wait until they're able to empty their load, and then they'll make a move. And this way they're not moving back and forth unless it serves an additional purpose, which would further help us some fuel. So that'll be good. So again, thanks for pointing that out. Excellent suggestion, and I'm glad we've made that adjustment. Apart from that, one last thing from the comments I would like to address, and that has to do with our wastewater. Many of you have noticed, as have I, that it is a significant drain on our wealth. Last month alone, we paid 6,000 rubles. That would have made a world of difference if we had that 6,000 rubles right about now. And this is constant. It's around this number all the time. The suggestion was made that we purify this water and feed it back into the system as drinking water. But unfortunately, that is not an option. If we take a look at our plumbing buildings over here, you'll see that there is the water treatment, which we already have one of, and this only takes in water and puts out water. Water in, water out. Then there is the sewage treatment, which also only takes in the same kind of liquid. It takes in sewage and it puts out sewage. What the sewage treatment plant does is it purifies the sewage to a degree. It lessens how much pollution that sewage will cause when you eventually discharge it into a nearby river or lake or whatever it might be. It's kind of, in our situation, a useless building because we have a lot of space where we can dump the sewage without needing to worry about pollution in the nearby area. As I think I pointed out a couple of sessions ago, up over here, for example, we can dump the sewage over here, and we don't have to worry about it impacting people who are living down at Ashkakal or further down either. So we wouldn't want to treat the sewage. That's an investment that we don't need to make, apart from our desire to be perhaps friendly with the environment. It takes chemicals, and even though it says maximum production per workday is 165 cubic meters of water, in reality that is still far too dirty to actually go through the water water plumbing as opposed to the sewage plumbing. So it's not like I can hook the sewage treatment directly up to the water treatment and take it from being half sewage to no, or from all sewage up here to half sewage down here to no sewage over here. That's not an option. What I can do is I can dump the sewage into the river, and then I can also take water right out of the river using the where'd it go? There's an option, water well. Yeah, the surface water intake. I can do that, but why would I do that when I actually have access to water in some of these, oases from time to time? Anyway, want to just explain that because I saw some of these questions come up. This means that our only real option, until we build a pipe that dumps sewage out into the river, our only real option is to, yes, export the wastewater. Now, with that said, I am curious, real quick here, if we build a sewage pipe from here, yeah, of course it's not going to like it. Oh, hello. Oh, okay. So there is a sweet spot. There is a sweet spot. It'll take an extremely long time. It'll take an extremely long time to build this, but it's an option. Holy crap. Now we're kind of in the middle of nowhere with our sewage facilities and stuff, aren't we? So this is what I mean. I think for the time being, we continue with the exports, and eventually we build towards an outlet, I should say. Let me know your thoughts. But that hopefully addresses the wastewater situation, and hopefully you have a better understanding of why we can't use our water trucks to bring in oil instead. But I believe that addresses some of the major concerns that I wanted to address before we hit play. I just want to double check that I have in fact assigned an office that has workers here, because this thing is sitting idle, and that's very bad for us. We'll soon run out of bricks at this rate, because I am going to commission the construction of our headquarters here. It's a small headquarters, but it's one that's worth having, I think. Let's not dally, let's not waste any time, because something we are definitely suffering from the lack of is experts. So having a university or a university equivalent with its headquarters is going to help counteract that deficiency. So continue construction over here. Yes, let's get this unfinished footpath done as well. And before we move time forward, I do want to actually make a couple of adjustments over here as well. Many of you have pointed out that yes, and I noticed this too, and it was a risk I was willing to take, or a price I was willing to pay, that at this building over here we have quite a few experts. If I actually make this fuller, you'll see there's a handful of experts that live in this building who we have sent to the bus platform. We've told these guys specifically to go to the bus platform, and that means even though they could be working at the courts, at the police station, or at the clinic, they are instead working at the various factories where anybody else could be working. So I should perhaps make an adjustment over here. Now, part of me is tempted to not send them to the bus platform, to say instead, you know what, go wherever you please. Because typically they're pretty good at organizing themselves, but I think at this stage of the game, where we're still relatively small, I should be able to micromanage this effectively, I hope. Famous last words, I know. So, rather than remove them from the bus platform as their sole designated destination, I'm going to add a few more places. Let's go ahead and get these guys going to the clinic and the police station. That should hopefully ensure that people are able to get healthcare, and that crimes aren't as much of a problem. We've seen from time to time the unable to visit hospital. There it is, right there. Negative 2.9% times 6. That is significant. Again, maybe it's one of those people that's living out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not sure, but this is obviously something that's a bit of an issue. And from time to time, we also see crime as a bit of an issue. So let's make sure that we're getting more police officers more frequently, because one is not enough to quickly solve a case. And hopefully the doctor count over here goes up as well. One thing I'm wondering is, do I free these guys up from this commitment? No, because they're all non-expert workers, so they can all go to the bus platform. That's fine. The other thing I'm thinking actually is, let's take a quick look over here. Do we make our way down to Canuve? Not sure. Do we make our way down over here and look for experts? Okay, there's only the one. You guys are all spread out over here, complaining about not having power or work. But you'll see their like food and stuff is taken care of. Their happiness is extremely low down here, though. The cultural enjoyment is okay. Like, this is what's strange. It's like I feel like, as I was saying earlier, they are not actually being considered into the equations for all of the needs. Like, where are you getting your culture? You know? Where are you getting your healthcare? There's no hospital down over here. So maybe I should leave these guys untouched, just in case it triggers something if I decide to move them over. Hopefully unchecking that box doesn't make them part of my problem. Anyway, back to Ashkakal. If we aren't touching those guys, then I think we need to rely on bringing in some additional immigrants, because training some of our people up to being experts is going to take a long time, and I don't think I have that time. I'm going to go ahead and do what? All these buildings are full. Ideally, you don't actually move people around. I do believe they get quite upset when you force them to move from one place to another. I mean, you wouldn't be too happy about being evicted either, right? Like, so the game reflects that, and I do believe it dings their happiness, and that's something we don't want to get dinged on. So let's go ahead and just get some experts at this empty building. Costs about 5k rubles per batch of 5. I think I'm willing to put down 10, sure. 10, maybe? Sure. God, I don't like seeing that number go down so quickly. But we're also going to then go ahead and say, yeah, actually, let's spread you guys out. Let's send a couple of you over here, and maybe that's it. I don't think I need more judges or anything, but let's send a couple there. Going to make sure the ratios here are a bit better, so say 80%-ish to the bus platform, the rest to the small clinic, and up over here as well, let's go with, I'd say 60 to the bus platform, and then 20 and 20 to the clinic and police station. And hopefully that'll keep these services running a bit more smoothly. Anyway, with all that done, I think we're good to hit play. This is going to be built. Yes, this is going to be built as well. And as soon as this is done, we are going to invest in the University Hall of Residence. I have a bit of an idea where I want to place it, but I'm going to hold off on that for the time being. The reason we're holding off on the time being... for the time being, sorry, is because I want to make sure this is prioritized. The reason for building the University Hall of Residence, as some of you have pointed out in the comments as well, but just to make sure everyone's aware of why that decision is being made, is because if these students who are looking to go to university will just live at home, then they'll be part of the workforce as well. Sometimes they'll go to work, and sometimes they'll go to university. If instead they move to a University Hall of Residence, they will only go to university, which means they'll get educated faster. But the one thing I need to be careful about, the one thing I need to check, is how many professors we actually have available to us. Because, as you might be able to guess, it is only experts that can work at a university or at a party headquarters. And we're pretty thin on experts already. So it's like this fine balancing act of like, okay, well, how many students are we going to have at a given time anyway? Either way, I think it'll be worthwhile to build the Hall of Residence, but we're going to do that after this headquarters is almost complete, or maybe a short bit after it's complete. Either way, we're holding off for the time being. One thing I don't want to hold off on, though, that I have been holding off on for the last little while, is improving the rate at which we're making money. Something that's come to my attention as I was kind of looking around between sessions is that our fabric situation is actually fantastic. So, you might be able to see where I'm going with this. We're going to go ahead and start exporting fabric as well. We have to be kind of careful about this because I don't want to hamper our clothing industry, obviously, but there's a lot of money just waiting to be made. You are going to grab electronics. Hang on. Do we need electronics right now? Because that's going to be very expensive. Ooh. No. We have a bit more time. Where'd you go, buddy? Send back to workplace. Let's loop you around. Let's send you back. Give me some time. I gotta make some more money here. And you know what? Hang on. Let's send you to the warehouse. Interrupt this guy because he's on his way to the customs house. We can pick up some more clothes, and we can go ahead and pick up some fabric as well. And the way this should work is first they'll pick up some clothes, up to as many as are available at the warehouse. Never a full load at this point in time. And the remaining space on the vehicle will be filled with fabric. So I'm not going to go in and do the advanced setup stuff. Take as much as you can, then head over to the customs house and drop the fabric off as well. And we should be able to sustain this as long as workers keep coming to the factories over here at a decent rate. So we'll do that, and we'll also get this little guy involved in this route. So let's go ahead and send you there, but then intercept you right away pretty much and assign you the same schedule as Buddy here. and also get you going. So don't go to the depot. Just go straight to the large customs house first, because this guy I would like to get crops with as the first thing he does, because if we're going to start exporting fabric, we need to make doubly sure that crops are never fully depleted from this warehouse. And I think if Buddy here can pull a U-turn, which he'll probably do down over here, I think that should give us a bit of a cash injection and make me feel a lot more secure, because we'll start exporting fabric, which means that each of these runs will make us that much more money, because fabric isn't cheap either. Fabric is a worthwhile source of revenue, and that'll help offset the cost of all the steel that we're about to import to build the headquarters over here. 17 tons of steel, it's not going to be cheap. We only have about 7.5 sitting in our storage right now, so 10 tons of steel to be imported. Yeah, it's not going to be cheap. But you can see this vehicle right now picking up the fabric alongside the clothes, and look at that. Yeah, not going to complain about that. 7K, not going to complain about that. In fact, we're going to spend that right away to get ourselves an additional cistern to further assist in this economic recovery. If we take a look at our exports, you'll see that oil this month, well, it's only been a few days, oil has already made us 1,300 rubles. Last month, you'll see that oil made us about 8K rubles, and we're not at capacity. We're not even close. One of our pump jacks isn't even being serviced right now, and the reason why I'm not servicing this one, folks, is because it's so much further away, and we don't have the luxury of time right now. Eventually, of course, we'll tap into this as well. We'll get trucks for this one too, but we can still, as you can see, get at least one more truck to this pump jack, and probably one more truck to this pump jack before we are waiting to load up on oil. Because where is the closest cistern? Yeah, not nearby. Yeah, so we'll keep adding more to these two before we start adding any to this, but I just want to point out that we're nowhere near capacity, and in fact, you might recall, we have even more oil available very close to us. There's another spot here we can put a pump jack down and build barely any additional infrastructure to get even more oil flowing. So I know right now clothes are making us more money, and fabric's going to be making us a lot of money as well. But I assure you that when we're working at capacity with oil, it'll be making us a tremendous amount of cash. And remember as well, when oil is processed into fuel and bitumen and all that good stuff, that makes a lot of money. That makes a lot of money. So let's go ahead and wait for these exports to happen, because yeah, we've taken a bit of a hit here, and we'll then go ahead and get another cistern, I think. And I do want to point out, by the way, that building additional road connections won't actually make Al-Balutakia work more effectively. I believe you need to have a mod for that. So far, I haven't used any mods. I have a few building mods and stuff downloaded or that I've subscribed to, but I haven't placed any of those down. There's some really good mods for workers and resources out there. And if you're playing yourself, I can highly recommend checking them out. There's some amazing mods. We haven't used any yet, but I think I will eventually maybe start using some of the modded buildings and things like that, but nothing that mods more core kind of gameplay experiences, I don't think. But yeah, so adding additional roads over here isn't going to make a difference. Instead, what we'd want to do is send some of these vehicles elsewhere to do their exports. For example, maybe we send bricks to Hurvarud instead. And that way we don't see this much of a slowdown when we're trying to export crops, or when we're trying to pick up crops and export clothes and all that stuff. Right now, a huge line of sewage trucks waiting to make a move. Anyway, we'll make this money soon enough. Let's go ahead and double time it so we make that money a bit faster. You know, in a manner of speaking. Obviously, time is still passing, and these numbers are still getting smaller. Oh, you know what? We exported so much wastewater there that didn't make as much of a difference as I would have hoped. So let's hold off for a little bit of time. Where is this money going? Damn. Whoops. Oh, we ended up getting electronics. Yeah, that's what I was trying to avoid. We really didn't need those electronics so urgently. I should have kept an eye on that truck and told him to keep backing off and going back to his distribution office. Like, yeah, sure, go get food and stuff. Electronics was not a necessity right there. But that's okay. I think we'll make that money back quickly enough. We'll keep an eye on some of these exports because I think we're making fabric at a decent enough rate. Ooh, hello. Unable to get clothes. Okay, you know what I need to do? On the topic of assigning people to workplaces, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and say that some of these folks should all work at this shop so no one's ever missing out on food. 9, 6, 15, 20, what, 3, 27. Need a bit more. Sure. Hopefully that's enough to keep this operational enough to meet all of the incoming shoppers. And then separately, I need people coming down to there. Should have probably done this the other way around, because some of these guys... Well, everybody should be able to reach, because if they're not able to reach, we have a bigger problem. Yeah, make these guys dedicated workers down over here. And hopefully that'll prevent these hits from happening. 64%, that is not cool. Obviously, death of a child and arrival to prison isn't helping. But geez, that's really not cool. Low government loyalty looks like it's being fixed, though. Slowly but surely. And I wouldn't be surprised, folks, if we've had another escape. We haven't. We were already at 12, weren't we? At the end of last session. So, okay. I'm sure we're about to hit 13 any day now. But I want to quickly take a look at government loyalty this year. No, okay. It hasn't been fully impacted yet, but I'm sure we're going to start seeing an uptick. All right. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully we're not going to see people missing out on the ability to buy clothes, for example. I can't believe that happened. These basic necessities we don't want to miss out on. Anyway, as we watch our economy hopefully start to recover again. Oh, that was a good drop off. Look at that. Look at how much fabric is making us. I want to try and cross that 20k threshold before I buy another cistern. That's where I think I feel comfortable. But as we're waiting for that to happen, or for my impatience to kick in, I want to very quickly point out something about the garbage stands. I think there was a misunderstanding with regards to this one. I think some of you thought I put down a large garbage stand. What I put down was a large, small garbage container stand. That is to say, this has more small garbage containers, which is the kind of garbage that, you know, homes and shops and stuff create. So if I open, where's the other, here, you'll see these guys are small garbage containers. I did not put down what I think some of you misunderstood me to have put down, which is the stand for big garbage containers. There we go. These guys will also take on mixed waste, but they're serviced by different kinds of trucks. They're serviced by the large garbage trucks, the ones that have this massive kind of I don't know what this is called, but a massive bin attached to the back. But no, I did not make that error. These are all small garbage containers. This is just a larger small garbage container stand. So it has room for more small garbage containers, which means it doesn't have to be emptied as frequently. It doesn't have to be visited as frequently, so it's a bit more efficient in that way. I had space for it up over here, which is why I built that up over there. Otherwise, yeah, let's see if we can't get government loyalty going up. I mean, we've got decent coverage with our monuments, I think. A bit of a gap up over here, but these guys do pass through, obviously, some of these essential areas. And up over here, we've got solid coverage up over here, I think. Yeah, I can't wait to get the party headquarters in place. We're not gonna... So, this is important. We're not gonna jump straight into research. Because the same people that educate also perform the research. And so, if we start researching technology right away, we'll slow the rate at which we're educating new experts, and I don't think that would be sustainable. So we have to wait a little bit. We have to get a few more experts. We have to educate some of our, 85 kids who are waiting for a university education, and then we can start doing some research, I think. Let's also very quickly go ahead and make sure nobody here is coming from outside of a construction office, because we do not want to waste workers at the construction sites. There's plenty of other stuff to do instead. And would you look at that? We hit 20k again already. That's great. And how are we looking, actually? Lots of workers up over here. Fabric is coming through at a decent rate. Yes, clothes are also being produced. So we're getting both clothes and fabric at a pretty good rate, actually. Hot damn. All right. And that's with 2 trucks coming through and picking up their They're low. That's amazing. Missing crops, eh? I wonder if we do a quick kind of big dump of crops or something. The slowdown at Alba Lutakia, I think, is hurting us a bit. Oh my god, look at that. 75 workers just wasting their time twiddling their thumbs. Aching to make fabrics, but unable to do so, and then you don't have any fabrics now. Okay, we gotta do something about that. We gotta do something about that. Where's our friend who works here? Let's see what he does once he drops the alcohol off. Yikes, took another hit. Was that steel? Might have been fuel, might have been steel. But I mean, hey, we're making money to spend money, right? Alright, now you're bringing food back. Do we need food urgently? Oh, we might actually. We might actually. Okay, here's what we're going to do is temporarily, perhaps, stop the export of fabric. Yeah, because this isn't a very good shipment. This probably isn't worth the fuel it costs to go back and forth. Alright. It worked nicely. It was a temporary cash injection. Let's go ahead and view line details. Temporarily, let's stop picking up fabric. And allow this to kind of get back into a good kind of state. And we'll flip that back later, because that was a nice injection. It's just a matter of getting crops here more consistently. Trying to figure out if I purchase another truck or if I assign a different covered hull. This guy should keep getting food. I think that's essential. But we should perhaps make him a bit faster at his job. Let's go ahead and upgrade some more of these roads. First of all, going to make a connection over here so we have a bit of a bypass like so. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this section and this section as well. My assumption is we're going to need workers here and here and probably at the one in the middle as well. But I don't think I can assign to this one. Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, right, because they can come from around. Go ahead and do that. Then we'll also go ahead and upgrade this road section. We've built this bypass for that purpose, so let's go ahead and upgrade, well, this road section first. You know what, actually? Let's go ahead and do the whole thing. Because what the buses can do is they can go... I mean, it's a long way around. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Too late now. Too late now. Let's go ahead and prioritize this. Go ahead and prioritize this. Buddy is stuck up there. Ooh, this isn't good. That's not great. Can I... Well, you're coming through, hopefully to drop stuff off over here. You've actually got all the gravel you need. As soon as this is done, which is a pretty quick job, the buses will be free to go. 54 workers sitting idly. Got a little too eager there. Hey, do I put a road down, go all the way around? I didn't realize I was about to trap him. Can't go through that way. We won't be able to connect down over here. This is way too steep, so that's not going to fly. Alright. This is unfortunate. Hopefully we have... Nope, no one's coming here. Because we need workers specifically. Ah, god damn it. How did I let myself get in this situation? You fool, party. In an eagerness to upgrade my roads, I'm now going to have a couple of empty shipments. Alright, that's okay. That's okay. We'll survive. Survive worse. Go ahead and suspend construction here for a second. Yeah, people are going to get just absolutely backed up over here. This is not great. Alright, excellent. Buddy's headed over. Oh, look at the wear and tear, eh? I mean, it's a 4-year-old vehicle. definitely shows. Alright, let's get this done. Problem solving, baby. Of course, we're making them first. Problem making. But we're also problem solving. You can't say that this government never did anything for its people. Can't technically say that. Alright, here we go. Let's get this done quickly. And once this is done, we should free these people from their... Wow, look at that. These excavators got the job done so much faster. Okay, cool. But nonetheless, these guys should all be freed up now. And that is going to be a hit to our economy for sure. 28 workers, 62 workers. Okay, line spacing has been thrown for a loop. What are you going to do? Hopefully this will be done soon as well, so we'll have the faster route out ready. Oh, really? You for real? You got stuck at 99%? God damn it. All the workers have left. But that's okay. The buses can come back and they can go out this way. It's just not as effective, obviously. But I'll take it. I'll take it. That is just my luck. Alright. Buddy's making his way over. Alright, we're okay, folks. We're okay. Crisis averted. Crisis averted. Continue construction over here. Meanwhile... what's the deal up here? Surely someone else has escaped. Yeah, not surprised. 2 people, actually. I mean, we're doing our best here. We're doing what we can. These are certain inevitabilities, I suppose. 64%. Hopefully that starts going upwards. I mean, happiness change is plus 0.01%, so it's trending positive. What's causing issue here? Unable to enjoy culture. Come on. I think it's just people running out of time, perhaps. Maybe people who live all the way up there, or people who work further away aren't able to get to culture nearby, and that's a problem. Low government loyalty, that seems to be on the up and up. Or maybe not. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. And unable to practice sports, I suspect... oh, no, we got people working back here as well. Oh, but see, this is exactly what happens. There's 2 visitors waiting. There's no one working. And for quite a bit of time there's 2 people who weren't able to fulfill their need. I was going to say, I suspect by having these people assigned to these various buildings, no one's actually staffing these fields and stuff, but turns out they are, so that's good. Workers down over here, chipping away, operating without issue, producing fabrics, producing clothes. Yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? In a funny sort of way, this little mishap might have bought us enough of a runway with crops. We'll see, we'll see. Alright, this is all done. Good. About damn time. Let's go ahead and create a quick bypass over here. So we can go ahead and upgrade this patch. And I figure we upgrade this patch as well. We won't have access to bricks momentarily, but that's okay. Now, one thing I'm tempted to do, folks. One thing I'm tempted to do is build, or rather first I should say, is upgrade this to gravel. And then continue this all the way up to Kurvarud in gravel as well. To act as a, medium speed bypass as we upgrade this main road from Kurvarud to Ashkakal to asphalt. I'm a little worried it's going to be very expensive, because that is a lot of asphalt. And while asphalt is relatively cheap, importing it is, at that quantity, I should say, it becomes a bit of a consideration. But that is on my mind. That is on my mind. Another thing on my mind is this patch over here. Let's go ahead and sort this out. Let's get you coming out this way. I was hoping to not take that tree out. What are you going to do? Let's do that, and let's go ahead and upgrade these roads as well. Going to do that section first, this section afterwards, because there's a fire station here, and we do not want to cut it off completely from access to the rest of the city. So we're going to do that in pieces, sorry. But we'll get there. Prime. Look at that, negative 0.6%, but multiplied by 107. It's huge. We got cops here. They're investigating, hopefully solving these crimes. We got a decent number of police officers, actually. Decent number of judges as well. That's good. Hopefully we're making progress there. Hopefully we're making progress. Up over here, we're certainly making progress. That's good. Buses aren't being held back. And down over here, we got fabric, we got clothes. Let's go ahead and resume. Oh no. Oh no. This is a huge backup, and it's because this needs building. All the little considerations. But once this is built, I think we'll have a connection, and we should be okay. This poor guy. This poor everybody. Well, hey, what this means though is I can go ahead and make this adjustment. Go and load fabric. Rather, I should do it. Just in case, I should do it using the line. At the warehouse, load fabric. Cool. Can I get you to U-turn? Nah. This is a huge lineup. And of course, these guys need workers, so let's get that happening. You're gonna need workers as well, aren't you? But where are the workers going to come from? Now, hopefully this will be done with an excavator. Yeah, okay, good. We just need the gravel. Which is slowly on its way. Why did you come all the way here? Oh, it was probably dumping gravel to that construction site over there. Okay. We're alright, we're alright. Solving problems, baby. Alright, looks like we're moving already. Excellent. Jeez. Hey, what that means is the next shipment of clothes and fabric is going to be that much more significant. Now, January was obviously an expensive month, but we invested in quite a bit. We brought in new experts. You know, we're building the party headquarters, so no surprise there. February is still in the pits right now, but we're about to make 7K. And obviously he's going to go and get gas first before he actually drops us off. Yeah. Predictable. All good, all good. We have the other truck coming through as well. There's still clothes to pick up. Fabric is struggling because there's no chemicals here. Damn it. That hold up down here caused us a bit of an issue. Not ideal. Obviously. Far from it. This is about 3/4 done, give or take. Low government loyalty still seems to be on the up and up, so that's good. Why are we... I feel like... this is having an impact. I'll look into this a bit more. Maybe things have changed, but it feels like that's having an impact. I feel like I thought we were doing all right. I mean, we got a couple of 60s here, but we got a lot of 70s up over here. We'll keep an eye on it, obviously, as we have been doing. But I'm sure even more people have escaped now. Yeah, up to 15. Damn. Urgent situation here. It's okay. Still sustainable numbers. Still growth. Need those chemicals. Alright, buddy. Load some chemicals on your next round. Let's do that. Load some chemicals and hopefully jumpstart the situation over here again. We're in the black. Now we're not. Glad I caught it for that fraction of a second. Gonna keep an eye on this, obviously. Because, yeah, the lack of chemicals right now. Absolutely killing us. And obviously bricks and stuff as well are currently being used for construction, so they're not being exported either. Wish I'd bought a cistern, I think, when we were close to 20k, as opposed to waiting for 20k. My man, I thought I told you to... Oh, no. Oh. Got that backwards. Flip back around. We gotta bring back chemicals. If we're not bringing back chemicals, we're making a huge mistake. Let's go. making a huge mistake. At least we got plenty of crops, and that's because multiple deliveries have happened without the additional delivery of chemicals, which means the crops haven't been consumed. So let's make sure we're also unloading chemicals back at the warehouse. 0.78 tons of chemicals, alright. Some chemicals coming in from that chemical delivery truck as well, so that will hopefully altogether be enough. And as I make these changes, I do believe they are impacting the full line, but I'll keep an eye on it once we're done this shipment. So close. I'm very tempted to just spend that 8k, get that cistern, and accelerate the rate at which we make money back. Some of you were asking, it's like, why wait? It'll make its money back in a handful of shipments, so why wait? Good question. Sorry, let's just make sure we're all set here. Good question. The thing is, if this number hits 0, we lose electricity. And that causes a ton of problem. And so while it'll make its money back, the thing is we needed to make its money back before this number hits 0. Spending 8k right now takes us precariously close to that 0. All it takes at that point is one electronics shipment or chemical shipment or steel or a handful of wastewater export moments, and the next thing you know, we're at 0. So that's why I want to have a bit of a buffer. That's why I want to have a bit of a buffer. We seem to be doing all right now. We seem to be doing all right. Chemicals still kind of low. Thing is that the factory itself first gets a bit of a stockpile before starting to push out to the warehouse. So that's causing a bit of a slowdown. You see this gets up to 0.68, and only then does the warehouse start seeing the number increase. And only when the warehouse has fabric will the clothing factory be able to pull the fabric to produce clothes. And even the clothing factory does the same thing. It waits until it gets to a certain point and then pushes out to the warehouse. But you'll see as this truck comes through, it'll pull from the factory as well. So, you know, the fabric factory is being emptied rather frequently too. But how bad is it? Not terrible. I mean, momentarily I can stop the export of fabric, I suppose. Momentarily. We'll come back to it. Just to allow further production of clothes and to, again, get the ball rolling. Get that momentum. Once we have that momentum, I think we'll be at an okay spot. This is almost done. Yep, very close to it. And we can get rid of some of these bypasses that are sitting there hideously. Let's go ahead and get this upgrade done as well. And just marginally accelerate the rate at which we acquire, or rather the rate at which we export, I should say, oil. Hey, not too shabby. All right. Okay. Missing chemicals. A few more shipments of chemicals needed, I think. More shipment of chemicals. Do that. Let's make sure we're dropping it off at the warehouse as well. Because yeah, otherwise we're going to keep finding ourselves in this spot where it's like, oh, you make money, and all of a sudden we run out of crops or we run out of chemicals, and then the money-making machine comes to a grinding halt. Party headquarters is done. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Captured a golden hour too. Good stuff. That looks like a lot of students waiting outside for an education. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, gotta keep an eye on this truck, right? It's picked up a couple chemicals, 2.2 tons worth. Sounds good. We'll solve this situation first, then we'll turn our attention to the party headquarters. Again, we took a big hit to our economy because of the import of chemicals, no doubt. But a worthwhile one, a necessary one. And this warehouse, again, gets its chemicals from the other chemical truck as well. Oh, come on, you gotta get gas? I should put down a gas station close to that distribution, or close to that customs house. And that way we don't get this detour happening so frequently. Because boy, it is a frustrating detour. Alba Lutakia, we're no longer picking up chemicals from you, thank you. Go ahead and drop this off before committing any of these changes. Let's go, let's go. And these guys now are operating back to back, which isn't great. They got a couple of chemicals there. Gonna have a few more chemicals come through now, and then we should be all set. There you go. Accept all that. Do that. Okay, excellent. Yeah, carrying only 219 rubles of clothes for all this cost. Not good. Not good. Fabric's coming through at an okay rate. And now we should be hopefully producing clothes at an okay rate as well. There you go. Okay. Alright, we got this. We got this. Beautiful. Alright, now over to our party headquarters. But we actually need a nicer sidewalk over here too. So why don't we go ahead and start building that. The 64% is killing me, man. We still get patients waiting for treatment from time to time. You're at the doctor. Fill that. There we go. That visit doctor tab wasn't filling up. Yeah, see, this isn't great. And this is the issue is that now we have some experts coming here instead as party officials to teach the next batch of experts. And we need people over here, right? We don't want to not have people over here. But those very same experts need to be judges to solve crimes, police officers to investigate them. And the more police officers you have at the police station, the faster investigation progresses. And so this makes me go, well, maybe I need to bring more experts in, but obviously that's extremely expensive. And I could use that same money to bring an additional cistern in instead, for example. The endless song and dance, folks. We got this. I think we're okay. I mean, again, we're taking a bit of a temporary hit to happiness right now. Yes, it is costing us in escapes. But overall, our population is still steadily increasing. We're doing all right. We kept it sub 10 for a very long time. So I'm still very pleased with our accomplishments there. But it's now time to I think, close that as a consideration. Because, yeah, we're in a state right now where we have to invest. We have to spend people's happiness, so to speak, in order to make the nation as a whole run. It's a sacrifice that... it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. Let's put it that way. How are we looking over here? Lots of fabric, almost topped up. Clothes not able to keep up. Well, that's because these trucks are coming through and picking the clothes up every so often. And these shipments are quite small. So I think maybe it's time to start the export of fabrics again. Again, if only it takes us to that 20k comfort zone, I suppose. So, sure, view line details. Go ahead and load fabric. Unload fabric as well. And let's see if that's sustainable. Because really, it's a matter of the gap. It's a matter of the distance between these shipments that allows us to have a surplus. And of course, the number of workers coming through and all that good stuff as well. But like, we've got a bit of a surplus over here. You know, the warehouse can only take so much. We're producing enough fabric to facilitate the production of clothes while also creating a bit of a pile at the fabric factory itself. So, we'd be in a pretty good spot there. Buddy here just went to get some fuel, which means that the gap was a bit bigger as well. Almost ran out of crops. That's not great. But yeah, look at that. 4,000 rubles. That's what I'm talking about. And we still have plenty of fabric. Clothes are, being produced. This truck comes immediately afterwards, drops another 10 tons of crops. Hopefully that's enough. We'll see. Drains all the fabrics pretty much. And we'll see. We'll see how this develops. But hey, February was in the black. And looks like currently March is as well, ever so slightly. We just shipped off some bricks, I think. Oh, you know what? Actually, must have been the loads in fabric. And another shipment about to go out. This one's going to bring us in, how much? Another 3.2k. Maybe at that point we bring in that additional cistern. because if we take a look real quickly at our economy, oil made us 7K this month almost already. Oh, already, it's the end of March almost. Last month, it made us 7K as well. Like, this is not an insignificant amount. This is not an insignificant amount. You need workers, do you? Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and assign them. I'm glad I build bypasses. Let's go ahead and get some workers over here. Let's go ahead and buy ourselves an additional cistern, I think. It's a risky move. It's a risky move. What's the situation with our bricks? Yeah, we should be exporting them. Is this really that much faster than taking the actual road, really? You just let the momentum drive you over? Because that's really funny. One more export. We're one export shy. One good, like, shipment shy of that 20K mark. Wow. Then this is why I specify good shipment. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. What's the worst that could happen, right? What's the worst that could happen? We've recovered from worse. In 1 month, we'll pay for the cistern. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, gonna pause for a second though, because what I want to do is I want to en route assign this guy his job. Let's go ahead and set line. I'm fairly certain it's gonna be you. Yep. Let's set line over here. Don't go to the depot. Go straight to the pump jack. And he might decide to go get gas instead, and that's fine. If we're lucky, he'll loop back and get gas from over here. If we're unlucky, he's going to go all the way to the Ashkakal gas station instead. But either way, I'll take that early hit in my April books for hopefully long-term success. Unable to visit hospital is becoming a serious problem. It's becoming a serious problem. Where are all these experts coming from? How do we have so many experts? And I should remember as well, we have 57 with university education, so it'd be nice to see that number shift over time. Hopefully. Government loyalty continues to dip, actually. I thought we were doing well. Actually, that number's good. It's negative 0.6% again, and it's at 63 multiplier again. Damn it. Unable to visit a hospital is a serious issue. And the solution isn't to build an additional hospital. The solution is to get additional experts. I can't afford to bring any in just quite yet, but hopefully at the end of April, we'll have enough wiggle room. Because, yeah, this will slowly trickle further down. If we hit 60... If we hit 60, we're in a lot of trouble. But hey, we're not seeing mass emigration, mass escapes, or anything like that just quite yet. Not just quite yet. And is this our new cistern? I assume so. Oh, did he go back? No, this can't be our new one. Can't be our new one. Oh, maybe it is. Alright, I guess he did do a U-turn to get gas up there by Kurvarud. Good stuff, good stuff. And yeah, as long as by the end of this month we get 8K in oil, it'll have paid for itself, and we might get close. We should get close. Last month we did 7.7, so this month with the extra cistern, I would expect us to hit 8, and the upgraded roads too. So, you know, just moving that a little bit faster. Makes more of a difference than you might assume. A couple students waiting for party officials. Most of them in the auditorium. That's good. Yikes. And again, this is where having the... What I'm thinking is we can put the housing down over here, the student housing down here, and then maybe we eventually do a university complex down here. Medical and technical university down over here. Student housing up there, and maybe some more student housing down here. So this could become a university campus. Right next to the party official, like the party headquarters, right next to this little monument, right next to the metro station that'll eventually see action. So it's kind of a really cool downtown core setup, and that's why the student housing over here makes sense. Easy access for the time being to the party headquarters as well. There's that ratio change. So that's a thought. But as you can see, we can barely sustain a full classroom right now. So is it really the right call? Or do we wait until we're able to afford more experts? We're looking okay. I mean, this number is slowly nudging upwards. I was waiting for the next big hit. Slowly nudging upwards right now, at least. We're not doing any major construction, so we're not importing steel again. I mean, again, we find ourselves in this situation having built something that takes 17 tons of steel and other resources too. So I'm not feeling too upset about where we are right now or anything. So yeah, I think the next move is going to be to get some of that student housing up, perhaps after we get some more experts in. Every time we spend, let's call it 5K, let's round the number up. Every time we spend 5K, we get 5 expert immigrants. And are able to provide a bit more to our people. They're 15-minute visits. They're quick visits. I'm surprised we're not able to keep up. And on the topic of keeping up, are we able to keep up the production of fabric and clothes? Looks like we're okay. We'll keep an eye on the depletion of crops. That might be one of our bottlenecks, so we'll keep an eye on it. And I think I'm about to get my answer right now. Where's the little truck? Oh, there's the little truck, and the big truck is only just starting to come back. So yeah, crops are a bottleneck again. So now I wonder, oh god, I can't wait to get the train connection done, but that's obviously a whole other investment. But I do wonder now if I don't temporarily get this truck from the distribution office to just do an additional shipment of crops. Hang on. Do not, this time, load fabric. Just to allow a bit of a surplus to form. Because we don't want the production of clothes to stop. Clothes are so much more valuable. So much more valuable. Literally, like they sell for so much more. But yeah, hey, you know, we're already at 20k again almost. That's feeling sustainable, actually. Right, now we can resume. From the next shipment onwards. This guy's about to bring in 2k. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. What are our biggest expenses right now? Fuel, of course. Coal again. What's the deal up over here, actually? I could stop the import of coal. Again. Jesus. Yeah, okay, why don't we? We don't need that much. Send you back over here, buddy. A temporary measure. That should bring us relief. That'll then allow us to get some more experts coming in. But yeah, you know what, folks? Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Decent economic progress over here. We got the headquarters up and running as well. We've got some efficiencies. We've got some inefficiencies as I watch this go from 64% right down to 63%. And this has gone down from 86 to 85. So we have a bit of an issue over here. 0 doctors right now. These party officials probably should be at the clinic. This is going to be something to solve. But folks, I hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, makes a big difference in letting me know what people are enjoying on the channel. Lets me know what I should do more or less of, and if I should do things a little differently. I mean, hopefully you guys have been enjoying this journey of ours as we try to recover our economy. I think we're trending in the right direction. Just the occasional hiccup. A bit more micromanagement is all that's needed over here. A couple more massive shipments of crops to get a decent surplus going over here, and I think we'll be in a good spot. But overall, pleased with the additional export of fabrics now. Pleased with the fact that we got ourselves an additional cistern, which has already almost paid for itself. So things are looking pretty good. Don't like when this excavator needs to go get fuel, because it slows everything down, and maybe I need a bypass or something. But overall, not too shabby. You're going to drop a bunch of crops off, you're going to pick up fabric and clothes, you're going to walk away with about 2,000 rubles worth of goods. gonna go get some gas, which isn't a bad thing because it means it increases the gap between our shipments, allowing for more fabrics to show up at the warehouse and more clothes to be made as well. If our buddy here shows up to pick up, how much? Another 1,000's worth of shipment. Okay, not too shabby. Folks, as I was saying, before I interrupted myself with a desire to investigate further. If you've been enjoying this series, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and if you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Otherwise, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. They'll keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.